Wow. The 49ers just got the brakes beat off them 41-6. They didn't score a touchdown for the second game in a row against the Seahawks. And so you're talking about a season that was highly successful. They shouldn't have made it this far, yada, yada, yada. But you leave with this awful taste in your mouth because it's not like they lost 13-3 like a couple of weeks ago or 17-13 like week one. They lost 41-6. Every time they face this Seahawks team, it gets worse. And thing about the Seahawks is they play in the same division as the Niners. So they can feel great about what they did or what they got going or this and that, but they got to go through Seattle twice every year. And that's a problem because Mike McDonald owns Kyle Shanahan. Like, Kyle Shanahan is the most valuable person in the 49ers organization. He gives them a chance to win almost every week against almost any team, except for Andy Reid and apparently Mike McDonald. I mean, the thing that was so interesting about this game, 6 points, it's not like the Seahawks had this overwhelming pass rush. They really didn't. They rushed 4. They tried to keep Purdy in the pocket, and they played this umbrella, 2-shell, soft coverage, inviting you to check it down. And Kyle Shanahan, who's been in the league for 15 years, whose dad is a freaking encyclopedia of football, who has an incredible network of people he could talk to figure out something that works. This guy is the best coach of the year. He has no clue how to attack Seattle secondary. No clue. Maybe he'll figure it out this offseason because this isn't a rivalry. This is ownage. This is embarrassing. There is nothing that, and you knew, I mean, some of the calls he made, the second game in a row against the Seahawks, he called a double reverse flea flicker that did nothing. He called a reverse flea flicker that gained a yard. And it's did he choke in this game? I mean, they lost by 1,000,000 points, but it felt like he unraveled, which is what he does when he loses the final game of the season. Like, first drive of the game, it's 4th and 1. He calls a pass. The pass works. They get the first down. But the Seahawks actually called timeout before the play started. It's so loud here that the officials didn't actually get the play blown dead until midway through the play. So, unfortunately for Kyle, he showed Seattle what he ran. And instead of just running the same freaking play, maybe from a different formation, he panicked and called the worst play of his career. I mean, it was only a week ago that him and Clay Kubiak called the best play of their career, that sky bang reverse pass. That was dope. Then in this game, after you got the first down, the first drive of the game, you're only down 7-0. You call a fullback speed option to the short side of the field. And it was predictable. When Kyle Shanahan gets flustered, when something goes not his way, he gets knocked off script, what does he do? He calls some cute stuff for use check. He calls some freaking gadget play. Dude, you have a good offense. Use check is not, I can't believe. Kyle really found something with that zone read for Brock Purdy. It worked every time he called it. So, of course, he didn't call it once in this game or last week or the week before. Like, it's discouraging that there is a coach who owns Kyle because Kyle's been here 9 years. And pretty much he's been able to put up big points against everyone. But last 4 games against Mike McDonald, 17 points, 3 points, 6. Today was a huge step in the right direction for Kyle Shanahan. He doubled his point output. The only problem is that they haven't scored a touchdown in 2 games against Seattle. And yeah, they'll get Nick Bosa back and they'll get Fred Warner back, but they're not going to help the Niners score a touchdown. Like, they beat Seattle week 1 because their defense was good, not because of the offense. So why do we think they got to face this team twice next year? Why do we think Kyle Shanahan's going to put up 20? Who's scoring touchdowns against this? They can barely get to the red zone against this defense. This defense can shut down Kyle Shanahan's run game without loading the box or playing base defense. They can shut down the passing game without playing man-to-man coverage. So all of a sudden, Kyle Shanahan, who has all the ideas, who's always one step ahead, is out of ideas. Well, that's really terrifying because the 49ers are as good as he is. He's the ceiling and the floor of this team. He inspires the players. They believe that he has the answers. He doesn't have the answers against Seattle, who now runs this division. I mean, I picked the Seahawks because I thought Sam Darnold would give the game away. There was no possible way he could give the game away because the Niners can't score against Seattle. That really should have been my analysis. I feel like an idiot, but I can't be right all the time. It's not about me. But look, can't pick the Niners to beat the Seahawks until, one, they have an elite defense, which maybe next year, or two, Kyle Shanahan figures out something new and adjusts, evolves. I don't know. Do you feel like Kyle Shanahan's close to figuring out Mike McDonald? I don't. And that's really scary. It's like this guy's coming off the best season of his career, Kyle Shanahan, but it's like, is he ever going to win a Super Bowl? Is he going to win another NFC West title as long as Mike McDonald's here? I mean, it doesn't look like Mike McDonald's going anywhere anytime soon. He's now pretty much the best defensive coach in the league. Seattle loves him. He might win a Super Bowl on the Niners field in a few weeks. You got to deal with this. And the answer isn't speed option to fullback. There was a play in this, first drive of the second half is 3rd and 3. Kyle Shanahan calls a run for Brian Robinson. Man, just punt. And then on the next play, they go for it on 4th and 2, and Purdy gets sacked. But the problem was the run on 3rd and 3. If you're paying your quarterback $53 million a year, why would you? He's like the best third down quarterback in the league. What are you doing? I don't know. It just felt like he loses his cool in big games. First drive of the game, you had the 4th down, they called a timeout, and you unravel. So you go to the use check option? Man, that's the worst call of your career. That's the worst call of your career. First drive. And it reminded me of 3 years ago when they were in Philly. At first drive, he should have called a challenge on that catch that wasn't, and he didn't. Because for whatever reason, man, he gets so worked up. I'm not saying he should have won this game, dude, but 6 points? That's awful. You should have done better than that. No excuse to get beaten by 35? You're playing Sam Darnold, and he's hurt. He had a Toradol shot. He made some nice throws in this game, but he didn't have to do it. Kyle Shanahan's a problem. He's a hell of a coach. He had a hell of a season. But, I mean, isn't this sort of the situation that Jim Harbaugh was in with the Niners? Won a lot, good coach, but ultimately was owned by Pete Carroll and the Seahawks. And the Niners felt like, well, what's the point of sticking with the second best coach in the NFC West? We're always going to be the second best team in the NFC with Jim Harbaugh. So they moved on. They brought in 2 of the wrong people, but they got Kyle, and they like Kyle because he's been so good against Seattle and in the division, but not in the last 2 years. And he couldn't do anything against McDonald when McDonald was in Baltimore. So this is a big problem. It's only on the only person who can fix it is Kyle. Maybe his dad can help him. Maybe Gary Kubiak can help him. Maybe he can get someone to replace Clay Kubiak.